podcast hosted by two white comedians. A stereotype about the blandest ingredients that childhoods didn't prepare them for life. Sexual tension you can cut with a knife. Podcast. Two white comedians. Podcast. Two white comedians.
That's something I've not done.
Well, you said something I've not done as I was starting the recording. Is it go to the dentist ever? Is that... I gotta take my daughter to a dentist appointment, folks, and Jess said that's something I've not done, which is... take my kid to a dentist appointment?
I've never taken your kid to the dentist appointment, but I haven't been to a dentist in, like, a lot longer than you're supposed to go. But also, I've had, like, dental insurance for years now. I get free cleanings every 6 months. Haven't been to a cleaning.
Dude, I went like an embarrassingly long amount of time just on straight anxiety not going. Oh, by the way,
interesting.
Folks who are watching, most of you listen, I think, but the folks that are watching, it's summer break. Our summer break is one camera, folks. We're taking some time. We're taking a little bandwidth back in our lives. It's the summer. Nobody's buying tickets to comedy shows. We're not going to spend 48 hours editing the goddamn podcast every week.
I got to get used to looking this way now.
Yeah, or
it's
just
only
look at me.
A slight variation. I don't... come on.
I know. So, by the way, Gig Harbor canceled. Jess was booked on it. We talked about it on the podcast several times.
You have talked to me so many times about it. Never put it in my calendar.
Yeah, so Jess is canceled off a gig he forgot that he had. If you were one of the people that bought tickets, I doubt you were, based on the amount of people who bought tickets. The chances are very low that you were one of them. But that's postponed until the fall. Date pending. Also, by the way, I'm so this week I turned 39 years old tomorrow.
Oh.
And then on Thursday, the day this podcast comes out,
make it.
I know. Thursday, the day this podcast comes out, I'm opening for Joe List at Tacoma Comedy Club. Ooh. And so one thing I didn't want is to have that Friday show and the bad ticket sales and having to try to pump ads and figure out how to sell enough tickets to make a profit. Because if you look at, like, I've done 3 significant door deals. I was like, I got to start trying to do door deals for myself right when people stop buying tickets for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's sales are down. Everybody's ticket sales are down. But I started right at the exact wrong time, apparently. So I've done 3 door deals in the last, I think, month. And I'm like a net $50 on them combined.
Damn.
So this one is no revenue. I refunded everyone's money that bought tickets because I couldn't. We don't have a date yet. I'm not even going to say, like, would you want to hold them until the next?
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. Like, well, you get your money back, and then if you want to come. And there were people that commented, by the way, on their, like, announcement that it was postponed that were like, I wanted to buy tickets, but I'm like, the water's calling me. And I'm like, it's kind of obvious. Like, everybody's eating shit on, did I have another show? I thought I had another show I saw another show got canceled that was, like, supposed to be in June. It's just brutal. The Northwest is brutal, so come see us. I know Joe List, early show, sold out, baby.
Nice.
He's
just doing the one day?
He's doing just one day.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, there's, like, a story behind that. He's doing a club he always does the downtown club. This time he's doing the small club. It's because that's what was available. He has family that lives nearby, so...
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be really fun. He just had a special come out called Small Ball. That's amazing, by the way, and it's at like 300,000 views in, I don't know, 4 days or something like that. So, attaboy. But yeah, so we got to simplify this editing process. Just about to have a kid. We don't have time to devote to this fucking editing.
Having a kid?
Still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess she was swimming around last night.
Okay.
All night long, rolling around.
All right. I have 2 kid-related stories to start us off, I think. 2 daddy-daughter dates, as they call them.
Ooh.
I did two fun things with my daughter since that I haven't talked about on the podcast anyway. First one, we went to see the movie Minecraft.
Okay. So I've seen countless videos of the theater after that movie has played. What was your experience?
So this is my wife was like, because my daughter is a little bit like skittish when weird shit's going on. She's like, I don't think you should take her to that one because there's a weird thing that they're doing at that movie.
Yeah.
So we went to a theater. I didn't realize this. It either is, we went to a theater that was like ADA accessible, meaning like there were captions the whole movie, which I did not want. My daughter does not know how to read well enough for this to matter for her.
Right.
Either there's two options. There's like a Republican and Democrat side of me that's got two views on this. One is I accidentally bought tickets to the ADA accessible theater that does this for every movie. That's probably what happened.
Uh-huh.
The other option is that you can be one person that walks into a movie theater and goes, you're in an ADA seat or whatever, and goes, I want captions, and then everybody else has to deal with captions.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
Gotcha.
true. That was in the movie. That's what I assumed. I was assuming the worst about. There were until 5 minutes before when I bought our tickets, 20 minutes before the movie was supposed to start. There was 0 tickets sold. It was like a Casey McLean show in that place. Okay. By the way, one thing I will say about this, I really get away with being not as obviously fat as when you get to see the full shot. We might have to we're going to do the same amount of editing now just to make me look less fat on video. Anyways, 2 other people walked in towards the beginning of the movie. So here's the two experiences with this thing. One is my daughter, I go, do you want to go see a movie? This is the only kids movie out. It's Minecraft. I don't think you really know anything about Minecraft. And it's so funny, kids' confidence. She's like, she goes, oh no, I know everything about Minecraft. And I'm like, well, you don't play Minecraft. You don't talk about Minecraft. She's like, I know about Minecraft lambs. I know about Minecraft trees. I know about Minecraft people. And I'm like, oh, okay. So you just like know that there are these characters. And I was like, okay, fine. Let's go watch it. I mean, a kid's movie is a kid's movie, whatever.
Uh-huh.
Of the movie itself, I will say it was trash. Like, it was horrible. It's like there's no, they just have like characters. I know there's a guy named Steve in the like canon of Minecraft, which I only know because I brought this up to other people, like that I was going to go see this because their kids had seen it. And they were like, do you know about Steve? And I'm like, I have no idea about Steve. He's the like creator of the Minecraft universe or whatever.
He's the guy picking.
I don't even know what that means he's in the movie.
He's in the movie. Is he in the game though? Is he your character? And you don't know that.
Maybe
much
he
even?
is. Maybe he's not.
Gotcha.
It's
all
unclear
I know
to
about
me.
Minecraft. Well, the father-in-law, I believe, deep into Minecraft right now.
As you would
Which
expect
is-
from a 90-year-old man.
Very funny to me.
What's his name? Gary fucking whatever his name is. I don't remember his name. I don't if I get it right too.
I'm not going to dox my father-in-law because he's into Minecraft.
Gary, get it together.
It's not Gary.
Okay, it's not Gary. Everyone any doxers rule out Gary. I was trying to give him a fake name for his sake, but Jim.
No, but you like use a pickaxe, I guess.
Like break the.
But I don't
things?
know that there's any. Is there talking in Minecraft? Somebody, please answer these questions.
I don't know. Here's what I'll tell you. It takes place in Idaho. It's like they kind of slammed together a story. They had one of the ladies from Orange is the New Black be a real estate agent in Idaho. In what it's hard to tell from the decor and all that if the movie is set in the 80s or present day. Like it's that weirdly ambiguous, and it's like Boise-ish, I think, but it's like I don't know if you know a lot about Idaho. I don't think there's a lot of black real estate agents in Idaho, is what I know. And
but they watching the movie that it's in Idaho, or you just know because you've been to Idaho?
They make a big deal about it being in Idaho.
That's
and
all the places.
The sister, but that's the thing too, is there's like a story. So this is what's possible is that there's a whole Minecraft like literature that we're not aware of, but they try to create a story where it's like this kid's mom dies and his sister, as part of a promise to the mom, has chosen to live in this weird Idaho town. They don't really explain why that's important to the mom or anything like that. We just know that this happens. But so the movie trash. It's got some stuff that's like adult serving, which I appreciated. Jason Momoa is funny. Jack Black is funny, as you'd expect. The characters are funny. There's zero redeeming quality to the plot. It feels like they've... But what I noticed is, and I don't know if you... When's the last time you went to like a proper movie? Sat down in a movie theater?
It's been a long time. It's definitely pre-COVID.
Okay.
I think the last movie we went and saw in the theater was the second Super Troopers.
Okay. I don't even think I've seen that one. So 29 minutes after the posted start time was the end of the previews.
Whoa.
So like we showed up early.
How many movies are being made?
Exactly.
What are these previews for?
I mean, so it's like it's not all previews. You get in like 10 minutes before the posted start time. Maria Menounos comes on your screen and you do like some kind of trivia thing or whatever. She gets done and then there's like, let's say 20 minutes of previews, but the point is we go to a movie that's supposed to start at 7:20, say.
Yeah.
It starts at 7:49. And so like we get done and it's 9 o'clock. My daughter normally goes to bed at like 8 o'clock. So we're already past the bedtime and there's all that's a crazy amount of time.
Yeah.
They're doing a thing with tickets.
That's a lot of,
we're
also
talking a lot of ticket sales today.
That's a lot to expect of children.
Sure. But those are probably the people who are like really, because they're showing a bunch of previews for movies they want to see coming up. By the way, they also like, what's weird about that is, now that I said that, they also have like Jurassic World, which is kind of like for a 5-year-old, a pretty scary.
That's a lot.
A scary trailer.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's that. The other thing we did that was fun was we went to a Tacoma Rainiers game. My daughter, in concept, likes the Rainiers. The Cheney Stadium has a cool thing for kids. They have a playground on site, etc. I don't really want to talk about the Rainiers game that much. I will say one funny thing is we did happen to go on Hispanic Heritage Night, which was funny because like I'm trying to explain stuff to my daughter and they're like saying stuff about the game in Spanish and where they would normally say it in English, and I can be like, listen for when they say this. Instead they're saying it in Spanish. They also had $5 on Wednesdays. They have $6 beers of a certain. There's like a craft option, and then a light lager option, which happened to be their Mexican lager.
Yeah,
baby. I mean, I drank 3 Mexican lagers, low alcohol, small. Dude, the amount of time those were in my hand, they go down fast at a baseball game.
Okay, the last Rainiers game I went to, they do a $2 Michelob Ultra night.
How long ago was that?
Last year.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think they do that anymore.
Yeah. They might not, and I might be the reason. I might be part of the reason. That was, I definitely found out how many Michelob Ultras it takes for me to not be able to walk on my own. It was
wow.
It's a fun, so many Michelob. Well, because then we were also like, there was like shots happening in between. Don't
blame the sweet Michelob Ultras.
It was a whole lot of mess.
They have a thing called the Summit Club, which is, it's like the luxury boxes, and it's just like my friend's mom's law firm has like season tickets to that, and he's like, I have Summit Club tickets, and there's free food available to you. They have like kind of a cafeteria upstairs. It's nice. It's not the best food in the world, but it's fine. You also get free alcohol from designated stands throughout the stadium.
Yeah.
And free beer. I don't know, probably not free liquor, but free beer. And the only limitation is if they will or will not keep serving you at that stand, basically.
Right, yeah.
And so what we did, because we are seasoned degenerates, is we just spread it around. We go this one, and then this one, and then this one, and then I think I had like 12 or 13 craft like IPAs.
Ooh, daddy. Daddy.
This was years ago. I mean, this is not.
Oh, of course.
I mean, it is like legitimately.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's not really the important. We did have a couple funny things where like where like we'd be around people. My daughter gets exposed to a fair amount of like we're not like super censorious with the TV we watch around her. We watch like appropriate stuff, but if they say a swear word, we're not like shut it off.
Yeah.
You know, she hears some swear words on TV, whatever. The stadium's like, it's interesting because you'll hear people like they're not like moderating their swearing, so it could be like normal swearing and then they're like, and then she was eating her ass or something like that. They go into a whole you have no control over the setting, which is fine, whatever. She's gonna get exposed to that in life, like people talking about shit that's dirty, so she's gonna hear about it, whatever. Finish the game, and I'm trying to just like create good associations with baseball. So first off, we leave the game in the 5th inning. The plan was to stay about 2 hours. We leave the game in the 5th inning because the score is 17-6. It's the most exciting baseball. She doesn't give a shit at all. She hates home runs because there's fireworks.
Oh, really?
The first one she hated. I forgot about the fireworks. That's the first game I went to this year. So I was like, yeah, anytime they hit a home run, they do fireworks. That's why. And then when people cheer, she's like, I didn't like that moment because everyone started yelling. Like I was like, oh yeah, you gotta get
that's
some.
fair. I hear those fireworks we're so close.
Yeah.
It's every week. I forget that it's happening, and I think we're under attack.
Yeah, and then if they win, I think too, at like 10 o'clock, they'll blast those bad boys
crazy.
off. That's like in a very residential part of the Tacoma. Yeah.
Yeah, it sure is.
Because you live kind of close, but there's a lot of houses a lot of homes.
Oh, there's definitely people much closer.
Yeah. So we leave that game to go get ice cream. Ice cream social in the Proctor District of Tacoma. Good ice. No. We actually, my daughter, she's trash. She likes Dairy Queen soft serve. So my mental memory was taking us to this ice cream social in Proctor. And I realized as I'm turning onto Proctor, I had made the wrong turn because it's on Pearl, which people listening don't give a shit. These are different streets. I got to turn around to go the other direction. As I'm taking a left on to Proctor, it's like sunset-ish time. I got sunglasses on, but it's just kind of hard to see. There's a lot of sun coming in. And this family is crossing the street, not at a crosswalk.
Hey, that's on them.
Well, I think legally it's not. I think if I hit them, it would still be on me.
That's not what my driver instructor told me. It's the one thing I remember. He said we could hit jaywalkers.
Oh yeah, you might be right. Actually, now that I said that, I think people get hit in New York and lose their case all the time. But so, anyways, I see them and I slow down and I allow them to cross, and then I go so. Imagine the street. There's like angle parking on your right. They are crossing from left to right, so they're ending on the right side. I would say they have completely cleared the street part, but they are not every person in this family has reached the sidewalk yet. But there's a full car length between the outside of the lane and the sidewalk because there's like angle parking that they're walking through. So I can't confirm exactly what happened here. But as I'm pulling past them, the father, the patriarch of the family, at least, turns and starts screaming at my car. My guess is he was uncomfortable with how soon I accelerated. Like, I think he thought I got closer to his family, like hitting his family than I did. That's the only thing I could think of, and I'm looking in my rearview mirror like to see what's going on. And this guy is like, my daughter just has no idea, by the way.
Right.
This guy is losing his mind in front of his family, which has got to be so embarrassing for this guy. Also, by the way, I drive a car. I'm not going to describe it into a microphone, not because I'm embarrassed by it, but there is my car is like you would think a very distinct car. There's like 6 other of them in Tacoma, and one of them happens to park there in that area all the time. It must be like someone that owns a business there. So I imagine this guy like the next day just smashing the windshield of that car.
Well, and that car might be driving like an asshole all the time.
Sure,
he's had enough.
It's possible I'm getting shrapnel, but what I think was happening was he got mad at me. So I've had a couple of these. My instinct was I realized this, and I'm like, do you ever have these moments on the street where you're like, this guy thinks he's so right? every bit of him believes he is right to be screaming and yelling at me because he thinks he has been wronged in some way. And I had this happen another time. So my instinct was I drove to Dairy Queen. I wanted to drive back through that area because they were going into Ice Cream Social, actually, the place that I thought my muscle memory took us to.
Yeah.
So I was like,
but your daughter prefers Dairy Queen.
My daughter prefers. I mean, listen, if you're talking about the higher calorie ice cream, it's Ice Cream Social for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But you know, about the amount of time it takes us to get ice cream at Dairy Queen is like probably about the amount of time it would take for them to go into Ice Cream Social and get ice cream.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I might be able to run into this guy again. And then I'm like, every part of me is like, you got your kid in the car. Of course,
maybe he was cooled off.
Your wife is going to stop listening to the podcast over that one.
It's our one listener.
Our one loyal listener. Now, I will say, comedian Stephen Michael James. Stephen Michael James? I feel like I know Stephen Michael.
I think I don't know who you're talking about.
Well, the guy that's name was...
there is a comic named Stephen Michael James, I believe, but now I'm questioning if that's the case.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up my... Because he is a guy. I know he's a guy.
Yeah.
I think that's right. He has a joke about... and then he messaged me from his... Did he message me from... No? Hold on. I'm going to feel bad if it's the wrong guy, but I believe it's Steve. I thought he fucking DM'd me. Yes, Stephen Michael James. Thank God. I would have felt very bad because he's very supportive. He shares clips all the time.
Really nice guy.
And funny guy. He's a loyal listener. Anyways, I had a moment one time where I was getting onto Highway 16 from Sprague. You get on 16 and then you go right onto I-5.
Yeah.
You know that spot? And as you're getting on, the lanes merge.
Yes.
And the law is we fucking zipper in together, right?
You zipper.
And I had a person, and I think at some point recently, I think on the podcast, we talked about a guy that almost ran me off the road. And I called, if I didn't, please tell me. He was driving his work truck. And so I
don't
called,
remember this.
Oh. So in this case, this guy runs me off the road. I honk. We're driving up, and I'm like driving to a comedy show in Seattle, and I'm fucking furious.
Mm-hmm.
His phone number's on the back of the goddamn... I think I talked about this on the podcast. I called and left a voicemail that was like, this piece of shit. I go, my family was in the car. I'm like playing it up super big. Anyways, another time, it was just my wife and I, and this couple does the same thing where they're like, they almost run us off the road. And we're like, it's like the shit where you're like, we're accelerating to get ahead of them, and then they're accelerating to not let us in. And it's like, literally, my lane's ending, motherfucker. And then I'm slowing down, and they're slowing down. Like, they got mad at me at some point, but then decided we're going to, like, literally get into a car crash over this?
It's the people that... I know people like this, but it's like they find out that by law... You don't have, it's not on you to like let cars in that are merging.
Sure.
And then they're like, just take advantage of that. Just let people in. Thing about the zipper. I used to live off of Purdy. It's one of those situations where the exit gets backed up, so they have from a certain time during the day you can use the shoulder. It splits the lane.
Sure.
You zipper merge to get in, and I would always do that because like 3/4 of the people would not use that right lane, which like they're asking you, please, for the love of God, use this lane. Otherwise, we're going to be backed into the freeway.
Oh, dude, I had it. This was going to come anyway. I have a perfect example of something like this.
Okay.
You're going to love it. You're going to love it.
But the amount of people, because that was like my commute for 4 years coming, I would always take the right lane, and then now you're like getting ahead of people, but it's like, that's not my problem that you didn't do that. We should just be splitting 50-50, but there's these people that are like, don't want to do that for whatever reason, get irate that there's anybody using... There's signs saying, do this.
Yeah.
but they don't want to let you in because they feel cheated by it. It's like, you fucker, like, just do it yourself then.
I say this thing, I don't ever block people from, like, being able to take an on-ramp. That seems so crazy to me. But there are things like that I will do that are, like, a little bit shitty, and I used to be less like this, and my wife bullied me into being more aggressive on stuff like that, where I will definitely, on, like, if I see a backed up exit, I will find a way to get. I'm not sitting in the whole backup. I'm cutting somebody off at some point down the line. Like Highway 18 gets like that, where it's like,
oh, okay, yeah.
I'm getting a little ways up. I'm gonna cut in front of a truck. I'm not gonna make someone slam on their brakes. I'm gonna make it, whatever.
Right.
But I'm not standing the whole thing.
Yeah.
Perfect example of. So sorry. In this case, these people almost run us off the road, and then I'm like flipping them off, honking. The whole thing. We're doing the whole thing. And then they're flipping us off back, and I'm like, what the fuck did we do to you? How can you think we're wrong?
Right.
But these motherfuckers are living the rest of their life. They're on a podcast somewhere else telling this story about them being the fucking heroes. And I'm like, listen, we could have maybe, I don't know what we could have done differently in that case. This other guy, like, maybe I could have been a little less, like, aggressive. He felt the way he felt, whatever. These people, it's like, you guys fucked up completely. I didn't do anything wrong except for try to merge into traffic as you're supposed to.
Right.
And also, like, I don't care if I go in front of or behind you. Just stop trying to stop me from going in.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a traffic rules that people don't understand thing. I will start with this. My mom was a bus driver. Sensitive to the plight of the bus driver. So everybody says that about Casey
That's
McLean.
two friends I've had now whose parents were a bus driver.
Okay.
That's interesting.
All right.
School bus driver or
School bus driver.
School bus driver.
If you were on a 5-lane road, 12th Avenue in Tacoma, let's say.
Okay.
There's 2 lanes going one way, 2 lanes going the other way, turn lane in the middle.
Yes.
Washington state law.
Okay.
It's different in states. I've looked this up because I've argued about this with multiple people. In our state, Washington state, if you are not in the lane that is directly next to that bus, so there's 2 lanes coming this way. If they're in the right lane, they stop. Their stop sign comes out. If you are in the lane that's going the same way as them, you have to stop.
Yes.
If you are in the center lane or any of the other lanes,
right,
you do not have to stop.
Yeah.
That's the law.
Yeah.
But
well, because they're certainly not dropping kids off to cross a 5-lane street.
They're also, for sure. But that's the law.
Yeah.
You don't have to stop.
Right.
But very often when I'm taking my kids to school, it's the time school buses are, it's a 5-lane road and people will stop in both lanes because people are fucking sheep.
Yeah.
And if they see one person stop, they're like, well, I have to stop. That's like the...
Right.
But what happens sometimes is, and this is another situation where I want to just fucking slam on my brakes and explain to this person why they're wrong, is I will switch lanes because the person stops because they're ignorant.
Yes.
And I will go past them in the other lane, and they fucking honk and flip me off. And I'm like, oh, dude, I'm ready. I want to, fucking slide my car so that I block your lane so you can't move until I explain
you should get a bumper sticker that said my mom was a school bus driver.
Proud son of a bus driver.
Have you ever been... I was in a... I used to take the bus when I was a kid.
Stop bragging.
But there was a time where a car did the against the law thing and, like, passed... on just a 2-lane road, past when the bus stop, or when we were like stopped.
If it's a 2-lane road, it doesn't matter which direction you're going, you have to stop.
You have to stop.
Yeah.
This car like didn't stop, went around. Like they were behind us, went around. So like total blind spot. You can't see the front of the bus where the kids are getting off. So our bus driver like followed this guy for like way off of our route
with the kids in the car.
Yeah,
and all the kids that I didn't do with my daughter.
All of the kids were like, God, I can't wait to be a witness in court. Like I'll testify.
Oh, that's so amazing.
That was fun. Yeah.
I one time, and we got to get to some of your stuff, but I was post Super Bowl. I was definitely not old enough to be drinking, which is important to the story. But
And certainly weren't drinking.
I was drunk.
Oh, I was giving you an out.
Now, it's important to the story because it shows the bravery and integrity that I had in that moment.
Ooh.
We drove past a man. He was driving a red pickup truck. He was in the turn lane to go onto Highway 167.
Okay.
We were driving by him on Meridian.
Mm-hmm.
And we were two cars of young men, all drunk, except for the drivers, of course.
Of course.
I actually think that was true, by the way. But we were behind. We were the second car in the line.
Mm-hmm.
So we're driving by him. He's turning left onto Meridian, or he's turning left onto 167. As we drive by this man, he's got his windows down, and we go, quit turning, and then used a slur that was common to the time, but is not common now. We were big Jackass fans, and we liked to make people angry at us, and so we yelled a thing at this man for no reason. He did nothing wrong. We were like, wouldn't it be funny to yell at this man, tell him to quit turning? The funniest thing
a
back
racial
then,
slur, you're saying?
No, it was not a racial slur. It was not that there's any. Listen, folks. Not that there's any slurs that were ever okay or ever used colloquially.
I thought you were gonna say not that there's anything wrong with that.
Well, that would be a good euphemism for the slur that I'm referencing. But we yell at this man. Unbeknownst to us, our friends in the car in front of us had also yelled a similar thing to this man.
Oh, interesting.
So we were on the real mind
friends.
meld. Real
Good
mind
friends,
meld. Yeah, we were really anyways, turns out the second one was the straw that broke the camel's back, because this man got out of the turn lane, started chasing us around Puyallup, Washington, into like a Kmart when Kmart probably isn't still there anymore. Maybe it is, but
I don't think Kmart's a thing anymore.
Is it done? There's no more Kmart's?
I'm pretty sure Kmart's
this might have
done.
been the thing that took him down. We drive around the parking lot. People had to be terrified. This guy's chasing us around the parking lot. We finally get to a spot where we like slow down, and he stops and starts to get out of his car, and he's got like a pipe or a fucking crowbar or something in his hand. And then we fly out of the parking lot, and we're like flying down River Road. Like we're probably doing 90, and he's keeping up with us, and it's dark, and finally we're like, I guess what we have to do is just drive to the police station. Because like this guy's chasing us, like the only thing we can do. Yes, he wants to kill us or whatever. The only thing we can do is drive to the police station. So we started to drive, and he fucking, I don't know. I think by the time we came up with that idea, he had actually stopped following us quite a bit before that. But we were just like all paranoid and drunk and on a bunch of like back roads in Fife and Puyallup.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So
I've been in some car chases, Daddy. We used to. It's not.
You think that was my first
one
car
of the
chase?
one of the prouder things I've ever done in my life. But we used to like to egg cars. And got chased a few times.
Have I ever told you my? I'm sorry I'm interrupting you. I don't know. I think you were like.
That was pretty much it. We just used to like to throw eggs at oncoming cars, and then they would chase us as best they could.
I'm a little worried because we live so close to where we grew up that there's a chance that this story is infamous in somebody's life and could get back to them that it was me involved in this.
Okay.
Have I ever told you my? I'm going to give you an example that's not the thing that I'm talking about, but I'm a good. I'll tell you the real thing too.
Okay.
And I'm going to be honest with you about my involvement because I don't think it makes me look more or less brave or principled or.
Wait, what was the brave part of you guys
driving? I was the one that suggested we just drive to the police station and take whatever. I was also joking about it being brave. I wasn't serious about
Okay. I just remembered that you had said that at the beginning.
I came up with this idea that I thought was brilliant, and I do think it's a very funny idea. I was just too cowardly to execute it. When you used to have those stereo mini systems that you would get, like you'd have in your bedroom, 5 CD changer.
Yeah.
4 speakers and a subwoofer or whatever. They'd have those at Best Buy just set up. There'd be 40 of them. RCA and, whatever fucking brand. Sony and so many brands of them. And there's, literally 40 different models sitting out.
Right.
Active. You could turn them up. You could turn the radio on.
I know where you're going, and I think I've dabbled.
So this, I made the CD. I took one blank track. 20 minutes long. Second track was the audio from a porn video. You go in, put it in, turn it all the way up. Blank track runs for 20 minutes. Second track starts, and it's porn, but it's also like there's 40 of these things. So they have to go try to figure out which one is playing porn.
Okay, yes. I like this one. You went a couple levels above what I've
slightly diabolical, right? Like this
it's good.
is
That's good.
Yeah, I didn't execute it.
I'm actually jealous that we didn't come up with this back then.
We used to do the shit on the people do the shit on the dollar. We would do shit on a wallet. My brilliant mastermind idea was shit in a purse, and we got a Mormon kid to shit into a purse.
That's good.
But this one is we'll get to the coup de grace. That's like the real problem that I'm worried about is we were at my friend's apartment complex, all doing a variety of like hood rat kid shit, like probably drinking not enough beer to get drunk, and also like smoking cigarettes, and maybe a couple people were smoking weed, whatever. And I was like, what'd be funny is if we took a beer bottle and pissed in the beer bottle, filled it up, and then leaned it against someone's door and knocked on their door.
I like this.
And then to add insult to injury, what we did. So this, first off, everyone did it. And I will say I did not contribute any piss. The reason was I don't want to put my dick where everyone's putting their dick on the end of this 22-ounce beer bottle.
Yeah. Why did more than one person need to pee in this bottle?
Because we wanted enough piss that it would spill a lot. So,
I guess I'm not pissing 22 ounces at a time. That's
well, and by
fair.
the way, like not in
That's
the
fair.
exact moment we need you. I piss 22 ounces sometimes,
Uh-huh.
but maybe not right in the moment when a cowardly
Not
genius
when
comes
the
up with this
pressure's
idea.
on. That's
So, and I was like, the other thing we should do is put a condom on their door and cover it in lube. So here's what happens. It's like 8 of us, 2 cars.
Mm-hmm.
There's a grocery store right next to it. We park our cars at the grocery store, walk up this short trail to this apartment complex, execute it. We, put the thing on, knock on the person's door. Everybody runs away. They open the door. We hear the bottle clang. We hear someone yell, "What the fuck?" They try to close the door. It's a lubricated handle. So their hands are slipping. They're fucking furious. They go back in the house. So
what a miserable day.
such a bad experience for this person. By the way, I'm not like this is no good. I feel bad about it. I genuinely feel bad about it.
This isn't like an enemy of yours. This is just some random person. Like, who does this?
When we did the shit purse, a guy that we didn't like from high school just happened to be the guy that picked it up, which was great. Also,
that's good. That's really good.
he was also, by the way, he was one of our best friends who was not in attendance. He had started dating his ex-girlfriend, so it was like we were righting wrongs.
Oh yeah.
So
that's
the story's not over, by the way. So the guy, we hear like, "What the fuck?" The guy slams his door after fumbling around on a lubricated handle. And then there's like a minute and a half of just dormancy. There's nothing happens. Uh-huh. And then all of a sudden the door flies open. The guy jumps in his car and starts speeding down the street. And like of all the guys, there's 8 of us, right? I told you this?
Yeah.
6 of us start sprinting to the fucking cars. The 2 guys that don't realize what's happening are the 2 guys driving the cars.
Wait, but so he sees that you've done this? Like
I think he saw us the whole time and was smart enough to go like, "Give me a fucking second, because I got to get my car keys.
Gotcha.
Because I'm not going to be able to outrun these kids."
Okay.
So he fucking jumps in his car and he starts flying down this fucking entrance, and all of us are running except for the 2 guys that are driving. Because they don't realize that this guy has discovered that we are out here, right?
Yeah.
And so we finally are like, "Get the fuck over here." We get in there. This guy's chasing us all through the park. One group splits off, not the car I'm in.
Uh-huh.
They fucking split off. He's still chasing this. It's a pickup truck that I'm in. And we fucking, dangerous driving through this parking lot. We fucking drive all the way from whatever town in Washington to another town in Washington. We go to a smoke shop and we're like, oh fuck, that was close. That was bad. And we're fucking smoking cigarettes and just this is bad.
Yeah.
We get done. We start to drop. My friend lives one of the guy in our car lives in that apartment complex. We have to go back to the apartment complex.
What? Why the fuck would you do the same complex that he lives in?
Dude, it was all spur of the moment.
That's fair.
So we're driving up to that complex, not even close to it. We're just driving up the hill that gets kind of close to it. And a cop pulls us over. He happens to be our former on-campus officer at school, so he knew all of us kind of. Not that well, but knew that we were students of that school.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Where are you guys going?" And we're like, "Oh, we're dropping our friend off." And he's like, "Oh, by the way, let me give you some an additional detail. Seatbelt my friend is in the back seat does not work. There's no functional seat belts in the back seat. There is an ounce of weed in the glove compartment and a half gallon of whiskey under the back seat. We are 18 years old, 17 years old, something. No, we must be 18. He goes, "Where are you guys going?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm going home." And he's like, "Where do you live?" And my friend luckily has an address. He's in the school district, but he's one of those weird unincorporated King County places.
Yeah.
His address is a different city. Thank God. So he takes the thing, and he's like, he just doesn't recognize him in that moment. So he's like, "Yeah, why are you guys going up this way?" And he's like, "Oh, it's just the fastest way to get there, you know." And he's like, "Okay, well, you guys fit the description of 3 guys that did this thing." And he describes the exact incident back to us.
Oh, that's...
And then if he had just done this one thing, if he had taken all 3 of our he goes, "Do you know these apartments?" And he's like, "Never heard of those apartments."
He didn't happen to be holding back laughter as he's giving the description of the...
Certainly not. He's like, "Do you guys know these apartments?" And my friend's like, "Never heard of those apartments. One day of my life. Never heard of them. Don't know what they are." If he had taken all of our IDs and not just the driver's ID, my friend's ID lives in those goddamn apartments. And finally, he lets us go and we get away with it. But my involvement was just as the cowardly conspirator and not as an actual participant.
You guys had fun tricks. We did. We would egg cars. There was I had a buddy. I have a few friends that I was friends with in high school that we're still friends. We see each other every year or two or something. It's few and far between now. But his family's got a lake, like a lake house, and we would stay there.
Maybe see him a little more often. Jesus.
We would stay there often on our own. That was where we'd go to drink and get away with stuff we weren't supposed to be doing. But we were headed back home this morning, and I had been finishing off the last of the beers. I was, and we're driving, and it's garbage day.
Yeah.
But the cans have all been picked up. They're empty, but they're still out on the road. And we're it's a lot of road, just several cans on either side of the road. And I don't know who came up with the idea. I was kind of the shittier of the group, so it might have been me. But we decided to throw every can, because it's on a hill. So there's big ravine, and I chucked everybody's garbage can. So and it's in a situation where you just see that your garbage can is missing. You can't see it from the road now. You gotta go rummage around in the woods.
Yeah. So basically these people, from their perspective, they just lost their can.
Yeah, the whole neighborhood.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, I thought that was a good one.
Did you? So, I'll tell you my ethic, and this sounds like it was slightly different from yours. My thing was I wouldn't destroy property. Although, I do think that's a gray area. When you let a bottle of piss pour into someone's apartment, we're in a gray area.
Yeah,
I'll acknowledge that. I also didn't. I only fantasized the idea. I didn't take part in any of it except for just like if you've never seen.
That's a real. I didn't think they'd actually do it situation.
Yeah. Have you seen The Handmaid's Tale? Are you familiar with this program?
I'm like familiar with it.
There's a guy in it that's like he's the creator of this fascist regime. He doesn't believe in it, but it was like his idea.
Oh, okay.
And it was like the reason he came up with these ideas is because he wanted to survive. He wanted to live. And it was like, chances are you're going to die or, turn on the people that And so he is a coward in the show, and I'm the coward. I'm the him of these stories.
Gotcha.
It's like, I didn't think, I'm not saying these things were moral or good.
Yeah.
And I'm not even saying that I'm saying I was a coward. I didn't take part in the actual physical execution, but I am as much to blame as the guys who actually did it because I put the idea into their heads.
Kind of like very popular figure in history.
That's what I'm saying. I believe those guys were just following orders. Is what I'm saying. Those guys would go separate from these like kind of more nuanced and clever things. They would also just take take baseball bats to mailboxes and throw. They called it bouldering. They would just find like a big rock and throw it through the back of like they would be driving by and see if they could hit the back windshield of a car or whatever. And that was like, to me, that was all too destructive, and I just couldn't. Like, I guess for me, there's a part of me that's like that Best Buy employee that has to go stop. That's a funny story for that guy.
Yeah.
The piss one is probably less funny, but he might be telling it. That might be funny down the road. To imagine getting pranked like that.
I imagine at least somebody hearing him tell that story thought it was pretty good. Somebody that doesn't live in that home.
Yeah. Or does, but wasn't home at the time.
Right.
Outside of actually like having piss spill onto your feet, I feel like that's probably a pretty funny story.
Yeah.
It was very much like in the time of Jackass where it was like and again, I do feel bad about it, and if this somehow gets back to that person, please, if I can swear somehow without you murdering me, I would prefer that. But it was like we were just so stupid, like such stupid young kids.
You could get away with stuff like that back then. I think.
I know now it's like that guy would have a Ring camera.
There's cameras everywhere.
Yeah, we'd be fucked. But I don't even know what you would do now for pranks. I'm right in, folks. If you're doing stuff, yeah.
We didn't. There was, I guess, a couple of times where we caused actual destruction of property. It was mostly. I mean, I guess egging a car, that does some damage. It fucks up the paint or whatever. We egg cars. We egged. There was one of our friends had a cousin in from Ireland, and that dude was crazy as shit. He egged an old man. We were going around egging cars. He egged an old man. I used to spit a mouthful of sunflower seed shells out at like bicyclists. And people walking, which, as shameful as that is, I do still laugh every time I think about it.
I had a friend that would randomly pull your keys out of your ignition while we were driving. Mm-hmm. And that same friend, by the way, this was like, we would just go, like I told you about, the funniest, most simple thing was to just yell, stop doing the thing you're doing. So like, stop pumping gas, and then put the famous 90s slur at the end of it. And it was just funny. Like, that person would be so mad.
Yeah.
Another one that was funny was to go, this is not going to be popular, but it was like, you'd go, your girlfriend's a slut, like while you're driving past two people that you don't know.
Oh, yeah,
you just imagine the argument they're going to have. And
then
the one, this was not me, this was perpetrated on me, but it's like such a perfect prank to pull on a person driving you. We were in Seattle, like Soto area, driving by like 3 or 4 people, but they're all like of minority races. Mm-hmm. And my friend is Salvadorian. He just rolls down the window and goes, "White power," and then reclines his seat completely. So I'm driving. All they can see is me with the window down and nobody else in the car.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. We would, there was a while where we all had big 4x4 trucks, and this was at the same time that, like, everybody had, like, a Honda Civic that was neon green, you know? And we would we all had like CB radios too. One of my friends actually had like a PA system, so that was great. You get on get on the intercom or whatever. But we would find like out on like River Road or like a 2-lane situation, find one of those cars and then box them in and just slow way down like they couldn't go anywhere and just go like 10 miles an hour and freak them out. That was pretty fun.
Do you remember hearing those stories that are like, I think my mom is just super paranoid about stuff like this. She'd be like, if you ever see 2 semis on the road and then another car, they could be like trying to do a thing where they box you in to murder you.
Oh, I never heard that one. I always heard about, and I was actually just talking to another comic recently about this. He had heard the same thing, and different generation too. He's like, I don't know, probably 17 years younger than me.
Am I allowed to take a guess without? Will it piss you off if I spoil it by taking a guess at what the thing's going to be?
What the thing is going to be?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Is it the flashing your lights at someone because like flashing? Your lights yeah. That's like the first viral thing of my life was like, you're gonna get, if you do that, you're gonna get killed by gang members because that's some gang sign.
This reminds me of this. I just saw a thing, and I literally did not find out about this until I think like yesterday or the day before. Did you know that it is okay?
Oh, what do you think? This one? Can I guess this one? I bet I know it.
I think you probably do.
This is crazy, by the way. This is like such a generational. It's not illegal to have the lamp on in the car? Yes. How did everyone's dad tell him that shit, or mom, or whatever?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had no idea you couldn't do that. It was...
No, you can do it.
Right. That you can do it. Everybody, I just always thought it was illegal. By the way,
if my like pantomiming in a half sentence didn't make it clear, it's having the dome light on in your car while you're driving.
Yeah.
Is legal, apparently.
My mom also, it wasn't until my adult life that my mom would always tell me, we didn't cross the Narrows Bridge often. When we were young, there was just the one bridge. But it's got those like vents. And they say like don't change lanes or whatever. She always told me that if you changed lanes, your car would like fly like from the wind coming up under the bridge. She thought that we would like just drift off.
She really felt that. She thought it. She believed it. She wasn't lying to you.
I mean, I wasn't anywhere near driving age, so I don't know if she was just trying to like instill in me, same as like don't use the dome light for whatever reason. Like who's
I will say it is like, and maybe it's just PTSD from thinking it's illegal, but it is annoying when people have the dome light on, when people want to turn, because you get a reflection off the windshield.
Right. Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair.
Did you ever get the one, it's a classic stupid kid thing. I had a bit about this for a little while, and I don't know if it was either just didn't work or somebody else had something similar, but it's the whole like, if the ice cream man is driving around with his music on, he's letting you know that he's all out of ice cream.
I've never heard that one.
I guarantee you other people who are listening to this have heard that. And it's like, one, is it just a way to spot how stupid your kid is to believe that? Like how little logic they will exercise? Because I shouldn't, I mean, I'll put it on my parents. That's a really, I don't think that's a great thing. But also like, how stupid do we have to be to believe that?
To think that they're only in business when they're not playing music?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Also,
I've never heard that.
They would take the opportunity to drive through each neighborhood to let them know that they were...
Hey, everybody, I got no ice cream.
We're all on ice cream here, folks. If you were trying to get ice cream, yeah. Look for my silent partner coming behind me. Yeah, I don't know. And it's one of those things that it's funny. Like, what do we gain out of this? Like, my parents... I just don't trust them now. Like,
right. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that was, I mean, there are things when you have kids where you're like, it is hilarious to lie about certain things. But that was one that I was like, Oh, why would you? That didn't even feel like there was enough payoff on that. I mean, what do you don't have to spend like $11 lifetime in ice cream?
I know.
Like, what is the payoff on that?
Yeah. What was your what were your favorite treats from the ice cream truck?
I love the like a dip cone at Dairy Queen, like
yes.
that, like an ice cream bar. I'm a big fan of a good ice cream bar.
What do you think about the what is it? Strawberry shortcake?
It's also like an ice cream bar shape.
Yeah, but it's got like the kind of the crumblies on the outside. It's like vanilla and strawberry in the center.
I would never get
everybody
it,
would
every time I had it, I thought I was like, I should get this.
Yeah, there was a hesitance as a young boy, certainly, because everybody, if you got that, you would be called a slur of sorts.
Interesting.
As well, yes, but delicious. Absolutely
I didn't know
delicious.
that ice cream had a sexuality, but that's
well, because it's pink.
Yeah,
it's.
I'm not fully surprised. I just that one never made it to my neck of the woods.
Yeah, at least my mom would always call me slurs when I had it.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. There was a great white. It's like a shark thing. It was just like basically like a citrusy ice cream.
Did it have gum?
No.
Anytime ice cream had gum at the end, I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
you want like cold ass gum that I gotta chew 7 times harder to get?
Yes. Kmart. We were talking about Kmart.
Yeah.
Kmart used to have ice cream in store.
Sure.
Like kind of like a Baskin Robbins type thing, where the scoops, but they had Superman ice cream, which was like blue, yellow, and red. I mean, the RFK would hate this ice. The dyes
by the way,
going on in this ice cream. I gotta tell you,
we had Slurpees yesterday. I gave the youngest one a Slurpee for the first time. I think red dye tastes good. I think that's what the conclusion I've come to. I think it tastes great. I want more red dye.
Yeah, that's fair. You should go to that whatever that pie place is.
I don't even know what we're talking about right now.
There was you said something about a business owner locally that talked about red dye. Oh,
Jesus, this is like off podcast conversation you're referring back to?
Waffle Stop.
Yes, this has got to be our last thing, by the way, because we're.
It doesn't have to be.
No, it can't. Well, we're not going to go past.
No,
it.
well, what I'm saying is this doesn't have to be the last thing we talk about. We can talk about something else.
No, let's do it. I want to talk about Waffle Stop.
I'd never been to Waffle Stop before.
Sure.
My brother.
Tacoma restaurant, Waffle Stop.
My brother apparently frequents Waffle Stop.
Mm-hmm.
I like a waffle. We don't go out to breakfast often because unless they've got a thing that I can't do, nobody's cooking eggs like I cook eggs. I mean, very few places anyway.
Sure.
So I normally just get like bacon and eggs for breakfast. I make that at home. Feels stupid to have somebody else make that worse than I do. Every now and then I would like a waffle.
Unseasoned podcast egg cook-off coming to you soon, by the way.
Ooh-wee. I've been banging out some over medium eggs lately.
Banged out over a hard egg and made a child.
So wanted a waffle. Not a lot of places have waffles. They're out there, but it's not, they're not as prominent as some might like.
I think a lot of places have them, they just aren't heavily advertised.
Yeah, yes.
Kind of like pancakes. We just kind of assume it's a staple that you have.
Yeah. I could take pancakes or leave them.
Okay. I got a waffle rack when you're done with this.
Okay. I got a waffle stay away from. Waffle Stop. Stop
making waffles.
Stop is a good part of their title. They should stop. They should stop and go away. Went to Waffle Stop, and I don't know what to expect walking into this
place. If you didn't want to come to a podcast that trashes a local business, folks, you came to the wrong place.
Listen, do better if you don't want that.
Yeah.
Do better next time.
Jess has a platform with dozens of people who listen to this podcast, and he will not stop until the waffles have stopped.
Yeah. You're going to lose about 30 minutes of business because of me. Went into Waffle Stop.
I don't think they measure business in minutes, for the record. I don't know.
What I'm saying is the amount of people that would not go because of what I'm about to say could be about 30 minutes worth of business.
That's how they always measure. Like how are we doing this year? Well, we're up 65 minutes.
You could.
I don't understand the minutes thing. I don't get what the minutes
That's how long a person typically takes.
So you're saying they're going to lose
at a
one
restaurant.
customer?
Yeah, in a roundabout way. Okay. Sorry, I don't have the data points to give you on what I meant about they're not having customers because of me. Anyways, fuck you, Waffles. Fuck everybody here. Fuck everybody listening.
Fuck all 12 of you.
Go into Waffle Stop. I don't know what to expect. Waffles is one thing.
Yeah.
That's all I'm thinking about.
It's a place you're going to stop and eat some waffles.
Many waffles, I assume. Assortment of waffles. We go in already. They're singing
no waffles.
Happy birthday to somebody.
Fuck you for having a birthday, you piece of shit.
I don't like an area that sings happy birthday as a restaurant. That's not the type of restaurant I'm going for. That's not I was not expecting this.
Sounds like perhaps Jess should have done more research outside of just knowing the name had waffle in it.
Maybe.
If you've got this specific...
I didn't know this place was going to be like the Chuck E. Cheese of breakfast.
A lot of places are singing happy birthday.
I'm going to finish what I'm talking about
and I'm
now.
going to interrupt as much as I have to.
So we go in, they're singing happy birthday. Already I'm upset. It seems like mostly kids. It seems like maybe kids have taken over the restaurant. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what to expect walking in. I will come in, happy birthdays being sung, lots of kids everywhere. I like a booth. Yeah? You like a booth in a restaurant?
Yeah, fine. I like a booth.
What I like about a booth, separation.
Okay.
I want to be in my own experience with my... I love a tall booth. The taller, the better. Give me a room. Give me one individual room to eat in.
I know where there is one. It's at your home.
I don't want cold waffles. I don't want cold waffles.
Get a waffle iron.
So, actually, we've been looking into a waffle iron. Anyway.
45 more minutes.
Sit down.
Waffle irons.
Sit down. The booths are about as high as that couch there.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in a booth back to back with somebody. It's like you and Griffey right now together.
Yeah, me and Griffey's balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's where you're just breath and people eating syrup breath. You know, like the breakfast kids at school. They'd always smell like breakfast. The kids that you remember those kids?
I do remember that. That's a very distinct smell. That's just like straight corn syrup. Fucking, that is a very distinct. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So now I'm in a whole establishment full of these Waffle Mouths and all close.
Waffle Mouths, I think, is the name of the podcast.
Kids, that's pretty good.
I'm glad we stuck it out.
Yeah. The kids everywhere, they're screaming. Just everybody's screaming. It's so fucking loud. I don't want loud for breakfast.
Okay.
That's not what I want.
What time are you eating there, champ?
I mean, it was 10:30.
Classic
11.
breakfast time.
10:30, 11.
11?
I don't think it was.
People can't be loud at 11?
It was not when I'm eating waffles. Shut up! I'm eating waffles over here. So you would think the waffles would actually absorb sound.
That's true. That's a good point. Very acoustic.
These were loud waffles. These were the loudest waffles I've ever been around.
Reflective waffles.
So already the environment, shit. I don't like it. And granted, there are people that are gonna like this. I'm saying if you're like me, thumbs up.
By the way, I mean,
you're cool.
Listen, places that have kids, what a bunch of pieces of shit. I mean, who would want to take a kid to a restaurant? Who would be shitty enough to take a kid to a restaurant?
I wasn't expecting it to be almost exclusively. I didn't know this was like a place just kids are at. We're just going out for waffles.
Sure.
Anyway, so we're sitting down, having a lousy time. They come, they ask us what we want. We pick our food. Everything sounds good from the menu. Sure. And then they bring us our food. Worst food experience I've had in a long time.
You asked for an assortment of waffles. Did they have an assortment of waffles?
They had actually not as big an assortment as I expected.
What are the waffles? Belgian
buttermilk?
They
had what is it, like a country... Well, it's like a cornmeal waffle. I don't fucking know. Sure. It's not good. They only had like 4 different waffles.
Yeah, they do get wild with that kind of shit every now and then.
I got
wheat waffles, like a buckwheat, probably.
Yeah, I got
like a
chicken
buckwheat.
and waffles.
Yeah.
I try to have chicken and waffles. Any place that has a chicken and waffle, I'm looking for a good chicken and waffle.
Because if they make waffles, you got to try that chicken.
Listen, if they're selling chicken and waffles, I want to try the chicken and waffles.
Yeah, sure.
Now, what they brought to me might have been chicken at one point.
Wow.
Prior to cooking it.
It had a full metamorphosis.
Whatever
became a butterfly.
Whatever they were doing with this chicken turned it into a different thing that I couldn't get through it with a fork.
Mm-hmm. That's not good.
And it was difficult with a knife to get through the chicken.
Do you have particularly weak wrists, perhaps?
You
got one of those kids to come cut it for you?
I had kids. They were jumping on the chicken, trying to. I held my knife out. I had kids jump on the back of my knife.
Did they have grown-up knives available for you?
It was just a butter knife, to be fair, but you'd think that would do better than a fork serration.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm exhausted now because I'm upset. I'm thinking about Waffle Stop and how angry I was back then. Anger's back. I'm pissed off. Bad waffles. Bad chicken. And they give you a hot sauce with the chicken and waffles. Even worse.
Casey McLean comedy anywhere.
Good. Don't go to Waffle Stop. Close it down.
Everybody support Waffle Stop after this horrible. I've had it. It's fine.
Don't try it.
Cook's Tavern has a very good waffle.
Cook's Tavern's the best.
Cook's Tavern's very good.
Love it.
Shout
Alfred's,
out to Cook's Tavern.
try out.
Alfred's is okay.
It's more of a vibe thing with Alfred's.
Yeah, if you want to dive, that sucks. Go to Alfred's, and if you want great food in a good environment, go to Waffle Stop or Cook's Tavern. Casey McLean comedy everywhere, but X/Twitter, where I am the Casey McLean. Jess.
I'm Jess Everett on everywhere you go.
All right, I love you.
I'm Jess
Bye.
Everett here.